This is FG Fishing Lunkers. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be announcing the 5 winners of the decal, the magnet, and the coaster. Not just that, one person who is the lucky winner, Fishing Lunkers hat, the decal, the magnet, the coaster, and also on top of that, the lures that were mentioned in my last video. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being interactive. Since with the positive feedback that I've been getting, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to be announcing another 5 winners by commenting below in this video anything you would like to say. Now, if you don't have anything to say, you want to just go to keep it simple, feel free to go ahead and just type in Fishing Lunkers down in the video. So I'm going to do something different today. All the winners will be announced right before every single bait. Remember to go ahead and double check your notifications when I comment, and I will be announcing those individuals' names as we go on. Now, enough about that. We're gonna go and jump right into the video. Just remember, comment below favorite bait of 2020. It doesn't matter if it's bass, doesn't matter if it's striper fishing, doesn't matter if it's muskie, doesn't matter what any type of species that you prefer to throw. Just go ahead and comment below what your favorite bait is. So enough about that. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into the videos. In this video, you're gonna want to go and stay tuned because I'm gonna be go ahead and giving you baits of 2020. These top baits are the top baits that really worked for me this year. Not just that, also the Fishing Lunker squad, which is a whole bunch of people who's been fishing with me. They've been using these baits and it has produced for them. Now, there's gonna be in the video, this one bait has excelled over other baits. I just wanna let you know the fish is double digits. I'm not talking about 10 pounds. I'm not talking about 20 pounds. It's a 30-pound striper caught on the California Delta. Early morning, around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was caught on this one bait. And when you least expected, it did not follow the formula of a rainy day, overcast. This bait excelled by catching the biggest fish of the year and even beat my personal best. My personal best right now is 24 pounds. This striper was 30 pounds. And I just want to let you know, you're going to want to go and stay tuned because it was not caught on the boat. It was off the bank. So if you're bank angling, if I'm ever going to go ahead and throw one bait that's going to excel and that's going to work for you, you're going to want to go and stay tuned in this video. So let's go and take off. We're going to go ahead and announce the 5 baits, and I'm going to show you why and how I'm throwing those 5 baits in 2020 when I plan to go and throw these baits in the fall and the winter and the rest of the year. Our first one is going to be ACT Legend. First bait we have here is the Strike King Mega Dog. Now, this lure is about 6 inches long. You know, we've been using this bait earlier this year as a search bait. And as you can see, this bait is not, it's shaped a little bit different than the River to Sea Rovers or some of their smaller topwater baits walking a dog. The reason why we like this bait is because it's not too big, it's not too small. This bait is right in the middle. Now, as you know, in my previous videos, I love to throw a Lucky Punker and also like to throw a Lucky Craft Sammies, but I want something right in the middle. This is the bait. This has been our top water search bait of 2020 in the springtime. What is the favorite color that we're throwing? This is it right here. This is called the Oyster, and you can see it's got a little bit blue tint. It's got a little bit faded dot, and as you can see, there's some hook rash in there, but it's a bonish color. It's not pearl white. It's not all white. This bait right here has been our search bait. This is what we used to throw out there early in the morning. And if I get 1 or 2 blowouts and another bigger fish are there, then I'm gonna jump on the next bait. This is our early morning search bait. If nothing else bites, this is what we're gonna be throwing. There's gonna be 2 other big baits that I also like to throw. Our second one is gonna be the Funkin' CT. The next bait is gonna be 6-inch Lunker Punker. Now, as you can see, these are my favorite, and these are custom colors in the Lunker Punker. As I mentioned before, my favorite color to throw top water bait is either white or bone, right? Well, for my Lunker Punkers, as you can see, this bait is not white. This is actually in a more like a perch color, but I like to go ahead and have a special technique when I paint these lures, and it does not require an airbrush or compressor, and it does not cost you $100. And I'm gonna go ahead and be showing you one of those tricks and hacks down the road. But of course, like I said, when I throw a smaller search bait in the morning, if they're blowing up, then I follow up with the Lunker Punker. This is the OG 6-inch Lunker Punker. All right, it's a wooden bait. With the newer Lunker Punkers, they don't work as well as this OG, because the reason I like to throw the Lunker Punker is because I can throw this Lunker Punker in calm 15 miles, or when I caught my biggest striper, I caught it in 25 to 30 mile winds. Even though when it's blowing, this bait would still walk right on the surface just like a submarine, and that's why I throw the Lunker Punker. One of the main reasons why I like to throw the Strike King Mega Dog is because this walks very similar to the Lunker Punker. They almost walk the same. This is plastic, this is wood, but for a plastic bait, this bait walks very similar as a Lunker Punker, but in a smaller size. As you can see, almost the same size comparison, but This is wooden. This is about 3.5 ounces. This is a little bit over 1 ounce. Throwing in the morning or evening or afternoon. If it's a search bait, I'm throwing a smaller bait. But when I want to go and throw something bigger, throw the Lunker Punker. It's a bigger fish in this one particular area. Or if I know that the fish are busting and they're not hitting a small bait, a 30 winner is going to be Leroy Yang. Then I'm going to be pumping out Megabass, Mega Dog bait right here. This lure has surprised me this year because just the way this bait is. It's an 8-inch bait. It's plastic. However, this was very similar to the Lunker Punker. And as you can see, the size comparison, it's a little bit bigger because it's about almost 2 inches bigger, but this is plastic. This bait is almost 4 ounces, but the reason why the Megabass, Mega Dog works so well is because you can throw it in windy or calm water. That does not mean you have to throw it just in a particular condition. These tall water baits, I know that a lot of you like to throw tall water as I do as well. When you throw in tall water, you could throw it any condition. Windy, moderate wind, or if it's dead calm glass. You never know when you're gonna get a bite or not. Our fourth winner is gonna be DJ Nez. The next bait is gonna be the Bait Sanity Ghost Explorer. Now this is a glide bait. This is 8 inches. This is the coconut color. But for me, my favorite color to throw in a glide bait is also white. But when you're working a subsurface bait, not just calm water, also when it's windy. This is a heavier glide bait, very similar to the Depths 250. Reason why is because on YouTube, you can actually find a few underwater footage. And this bait swims, this glide bait swims just like a Depths 250. It swims very wide. And you're talking about 1 to 3 feet at times. And you can actually double jerk it. It only goes at 70 bucks. You can find it on Tackle Warehouse, find it at baitsanity.com. But one of the baits that have actually introduced me to catch bigger fish the last year and this year has been the Bait Sanity Explorer. My favorite way to throw this bait is, there's only one technique that I like to throw. You can also work different cadences, but my bigger fish I've caught this year has been throwing the bait out there. As soon as it hits the water, I don't let it sink because this is a heavier bait and I just do a slow retrieve. I'm throwing it on 60-pound braid with no top shot. I'm going straight onto the braid. Now, some individuals might contradict and say that, you know what, they prefer to throw it top shot by throwing mono. Comment below why you like to throw it on mono. What's great about this bait is that I love throwing in open water. Now, it has caught a few fish in the shallow areas, but with the bigger bait, it's ton hung up. There's more weeds and it's too shallow. But like I said, when there's current and the fish are actually out more in the open water, or I'm throwing right next to the cover and I know it's clear, I'm throwing the Bait Sanity Explorer. This is the bigger bait. This is gonna catch you a big fish. The next bait that we're gonna go and talk about, my cousin caught his biggest fish on the Bait Sanity Antidote, 30 pounds on the shore, bank. All right, he's fishing the California Delta and he's fishing a high traffic area where there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of boat traffic, but this area is special because it actually has a lot of the bigger fish that move through the area because it's cleaner water going into the Sacramento River. This bait compared to the Bait Sanity Explorer, you can see the size difference. This is about 6 inches, this is about 8 inches. As you can see, this is a custom colored, which we painted pearl white. This bait is special because it's not like the Ghost Explorer. We call it the Creeper because it sits right between a top water. You got the Bait Sanity. You also got the Explorer. This bait is special. We don't throw this bait when it's over 15 miles. Anytime it's under 15 miles and it's calm, moderate wind, we're throwing this bait out there because this bait does not sink deep. As soon as he hits the water, when you're retrieving it, it comes right into the surface. But it does not break the surface. It creeps right under the surface. Have you ever noticed it when you're out there fishing and you see like a little, you can see a little bit movement and it's actually a small fish swimming right under the surface and all of a sudden you hear a big splash, or you're not sure and you're like, what is that? Well, that's actually this little weight and it's called a creeper because it's just like a shark. It does not break the surface. It doesn't come up on top like a top water bait. It doesn't go under the water about 1 foot or 2 foot, swims right under the surface. So it's right between a top water and a glide bait, because this right here, when nothing else bites on the water for us, we throw the Antidote, and this has caught bigger fish. And as you can see in this video, I lost one of my potential PB stripers on the Bait Sanity Antidote. It's only priced at $25, Why not? It's one of the baits you wouldn't try. If you get an S Waver, it's about $45. You guys gotta try this bait out. Now, you're saying, well, if I go out to the store, I don't see a bait that's gonna be painted in white. Well, if you don't have anybody painting in white, another color that I prefer to throw is the trout. You gotta get the trout. And I get it in the super slow sink. Why not? Because it's creeping right under the surface. It's just like a shark. And all of a sudden, the bigger fish, it doesn't break the surface where you're gonna get a lot of the fish that are more aggressive. You get fish that are finicky. They're taking their time, they're creeping onto the bait, but they can't really tell because it's not like any other glide baits. It's not under the surface where they can see the bait. It's not on top of the surface, break the surface. But this bait right here creeps up and it triggers the bite. And one of my recent videos called Never Give Up Fishing, that's what happened. We threw everything else on the water that day. We didn't catch no fish at all. But when I caught our only fish, was about 6 pounds that day, which is a striper about 26, 27 inches. It was on the Bait Sanity Antidote. Now, when all else fails, as you can see, I'm only mentioning bigger baits in this video. Well, you're gonna ask me, well, Fing, I don't throw big baits. I like to throw smaller baits. Well, you know what? Me too. Why not? Our last and our final winner of the decal, the magnet, and the coaster is the Now Later. Check your notifications, guys. Check the videos out. When the big baits fail, you don't want to skunk. You want to get out there and catch some fish. You want to go ahead and throw the smallest bait out there. And one of my smallest baits that I prefer to throw on the California Delta or even on the lakes, one of my favorite baits is the Lucky Craft Pointer. Now, this is the Lucky Craft Saltwater Series. This is the deep diver version. It's a little bit deeper. When all else fails and I don't get no bites, but I know that I can see fish on my graph and I know there's fish in that area, then that's when I throw the Lucky Craft jerkbait just to search if there's fish there or not. Now, I used to bass fish myself quite often. That's how I learned how to bass fish. But the one thing about it is that I've always wondered, like, you know what's that one search bait? Well, we all know that the search bait is the jerkbait, as KVD, Ken Van Dam mentions. That's what I've stuck with. I've stuck with the Lucky Craft Pointer DD or the Lucky Craft Pointer SP. This is not any other jerkbaits where it's darting forward, okay? The bait does not dart forward. It actually walks left and right, just like a topwater bait. Walk the dog instead of on top of the surface, it walks under the surface, walks the dog under the water. If you don't believe me, grab one yourself at the store. In my jerkbait video that I've recently uploaded, you can see that I threw bigger baits all morning, did not get one bite. As soon as I switched to the jerkbait, I got the bites. Thank you everybody who's been supporting the channel. I want to announce the lucky winner of the Fisher Lunkers package. The lucky winner of the Fisher Lunkers hat and the package and the lures is going to be the Bald Guy Francis. Remember, comment below. I'm going to choose 5 more winners of the magnet, the sticker, and the coaster. Go ahead and comment below what your favorite bait is 2020 is, or your favorite bait of all time. I'm going to go ahead and choose 5 more winners. Why not? I want to thank everybody who's been supporting the channel, who's been checking me out, who's been subscribed to the channel for this whole time. But just remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. The last announcement is that we have hats coming in. They're going to be snapback hats. Now, the great thing about it is that they're going to be coming in various colors. So go ahead and email me at fisherlunkers247@gmail.com. Hats are going to be $28 shipped to your door. So just go ahead and comment below if you have any other questions. Much love. Let's go fishing for that lunker.